the role that MCAs have to play in governance, because based on what we have seen on in the newspaper today, on the budget that is this budget that is coming, the 3.3 trillion budget for the fiscal year 2022-2023, it is listed here that recurrent expenditure will take up to 2.2 trillion shillings, which is a lot. And most Kenyans, myself included, are asking ourselves, well, are some positions in government really necessary? So those are some of the questions that we'll be answering today with you. Thank you so much for coming. Kindly introduce yourself to us and our viewers before we get started.
Good morning, the viewers. My name is Engineer Muturi Daniel. One is to give thanks for this specific station for giving chances to the youth. And also, I'm so glad to be here, talking about the country, talking about our county, and specifically talking about Township Ward, where my pride comes from. And
that is Muranga Township, yes?
Yeah, Muranga Township Ward. And I feel everywhere that I stand, on behalf of Muranga Township Ward, I feel that it is worthy for it. So I'd be glad to share this table with you.
I thought you would mention that you're contesting for the MCA position for Muranga Township Ward.
Very true. And I'm contesting for the MCA Township Ward under the ticket, UDA ticket. And more so, I usually say it's not about vying. Also, it's about what are the kind of interests do you have towards your people and towards that leadership. That is what I watch, or that is what I look at, because we are vying like 10 of us, that specific seat, but it's only one who will become a leader.
Yes.
So it's now among the people to decide, is this person that we are going to vote, does he hold the interest of the people of Township Ward? Anywhere that he'll be going. And when they look at it from that perspective, they're gonna give us the best leader that each and every one of us. And I believe I'm that person. And I've been in leadership since for a while. And I am, as we speak, I am the elected chair for young aspirant, the whole Muranga County, and I'm so glad to represent them even on this table, because we believe that we live in a generation whereby we as the youth, we are told that we are the leaders of tomorrow, and now we have come together, joined hands, and so strong to make sure that our tomorrow is here, because they will keep on telling us we are the youth, we are the leaders of tomorrow, and tomorrow will come and it will still be tomorrow. So I'm so glad to represent the young aspirants, and whatever they are, I promise them that I will fight head on to make sure that any chance that was supposed to go for a youthful leader, it will go there, because that is where it belongs.
You do seem very, very passionate about the young people who have ventured into leadership positions, or are seeking to venture into leadership positions.
Oh yes.
And we'll get into all that. One of the seats that I think has become available in government for the youth is the MCA seat, and we'll get into how this seat exactly impacts the people of the wards that these MCAs represent, and how, whether it does bring the government closer to the people, or if it is just another seat that's there. But first, let us start with UDA. You are contesting for the UDA ticket, as you said. And UDA nominations are coming up soon. So there are these worries, there are fears that have been expressed by some people about favorism and rigging. What do you have to say about that? Are the fears justified? Are they justified?
One thing I would like to tell you, that UDA as a party, it is one of the strongest party since the since we happen to know that there will come elections and the elections will go in this manner. UDA has put the book so open for every aspirant to make sure there will not be leaguing, and this is how they are doing it. Each leader who is contesting for any seat, he or she was requested to shortlist at least one representative in all the functions of the party. So if I happen to feel like maybe I was leagued, it is not about the party, it's about the person that I sent within the party to represent me. That was number one. Secondly, I want to tell you that when you talk about UDA, we are talking about the most popular party in this Republic of Kenya as of date 6 mwezi wa 4 2022. And this is not they are trying to manipulate UDA by saying that they will end up supporting the weaker candidates. But according to my understanding, there is nothing like weaker candidate in politics. In most cases, that person that we call you might call the weaker candidate might be the person who is holding the vision of the people surrounding that specific place that he or she is vying. And of course, as the UDA, our biggest threat is the government. And as of today, if you ask the government who are the opposition leaders of this country, they will mention us. But if you ask the people who are voting, who are going through mess, who are going through the problem of fuel, who are going the cost of commodity and products, if you ask them who are the government, or ask who are the government in waiting, definitely they will tell you it is UDA.
Yeah,
so,
but your leader has been playing the role of an opposition leader. I mean, he came out recently to talk about the fuel prices. He spoke as though he's not part of the government.
Let me tell you, the government might feel that our leader, who we respect and who we feel like he is our vision holder as the UDA team or fraternity or Kenya Kwanza fraternity, is the government might feel that he's acting like opposition leader. But what the deputy president William Samoei Ruto is doing is that, despite that he will take the government, he wants to take a government where people are things are moving on well. And this is where because if you watch that press, is that he wanted specifically to know how much money did you give to the fuel petroleum company, so that they can lower the costs. That is what he wanted to know. And also he wanted to know the method that will be used to transact the money from the treasury to the petroleum company that standardized, the petroleum authority that standardized the prices of the petrol in this country. So he wanted to be sure that the way or the procedure that will be used, it will be good for the people and for the hustlers of this nation.
But then, isn't that information available to him in his capacity as the deputy president?
One, I will tell you, it might not, because until he insists that he wants to know, because there is in this country, when the government was being formed, I remember our vision holder, the deputy president of this Republic of Kenya, was so inclusive in the government. Any meeting that was done by the CSs, he was there. If the president was not there, he was the one who was chairing all those meetings. So they could give him idea, and he could also share his idea, and the government was running so smoothly. Until now, when things are, even what the deputy is supposed to sign for it to go through, the signature is no longer needed. So he needs to dig for information for him to have that. So, and the good thing is that where he needs to dig, he dig with a lot of confidence, because he knows he fight for the millions of hustlers of this nation. Oh yes.
All right, and part of the millions of the hustlers of these nations are located in the wards, I do believe.
Oh yes.
Yes. So the wards are led by the MCAs, the members of county assembly, a position such as the one that you're vying for. So my question is this: these people are being paid a salary by the government, yes? And the money from the government is coming from the taxpayers, that is the local mwananchi. So why is the position of the MCA so important to us as the wananchi?
One thing I will tell you, in the elective positions panel of this country, the very crucial, or else where we need to put all our interest as the people, is the MCA seat. And this is why I will tell you why. One, even when you see that the government was pushing the BBI, that everyone is so happy today that it never got through, because it was a weapon, or else it was a bullet, to make sure that we, the people, we have no power towards the government. And that's why they had to bring that BBI to the assembly, because when it comes from there, it means that is the voice of Wanjiko, that is the voice of the normal mwananchi. So an MCA, in his 3 or 4 roles, one is representation. An MCA is the one who, it is through an MCA that you will understand what is the true need of this, or the people, on the ground. And more so, he is also so much in the budgetary functions of the county, to make sure that how the county is spending on the right way, and also to make sure that the functions that are being done by the county are done with the integrity, and also and also through a way that it is a help to the people. So to be precisely, I want to tell you that MCA is one of the political seats that the people are, should put all their interest there, because that is where the true, because let me tell you, an MP can vie here, and township we have like 7 wards. An MP might not locate someone who is in Muranga. He might not locate someone who is in Lower Gaturi. But an MCA is person who needs to go down there to know what are the grievances, what are the problems of the people down there. And when you locate the people down there, you will even give a easier time to the incoming government and the Kenya Kwanza to do what we are calling the bottom up. We know what the people need down there. You know how much, because let me tell you, it will be so unfair when $1 million is needed and 5 million is awarded to that specific place. So an MCA is to make sure that whatever is rewarded at a specific region, is it what is supposed to go there? And when you do that, of course, we are learning the right government, the right direction.
Now, before we get into the what and the how, for instance, allow me to use you as a I don't want to say guinea pig, but I do want to know what you know, whether you do know some of the challenges that the people of the Muranga Township are facing, and how exactly you intend to, change those, have the solutions for those problems. But before we get to that, how has the introduction of the MCA position changed the way Kenyans interact with the government?
One, we thank our able former president, Kibaki, for even pushing towards the devolution. Because I want to tell you that if you look back before devolution, the many changes of a sober government that took an office of the governor, the things that they have done, having an allocation of more than all those billions in your region, of course, with people who know where they are going and where they are coming from, you're supposed to have seen a change. And the little change we have seen with the leaders that we feel that they were not the best, or they are not the best for any political seat, whatever they have done. So we can imagine if a governor seat can be, can be given to a sober mind, someone who is, visionary, and somebody who knows what is needed for the people, on what can, take us forward together. I believe that even that money can be of more value than it is of today. The greatness of all is that we learn for the previous mistake. We have done previous mistake in a lot of political seats, and now people are sober enough for the next elections. This is an election whereby we'll be having a president who is nowhere to the people who feels that they are owners of this country. Actually, they are calling themselves the gatekeepers of big cities. But because he's not working for, let me tell you, when I talk about the million households of this country, we are talking about 12 million plus households of this country. Someone, if perhaps he need a job somewhere, he don't know where to start. He don't know who works there. He don't know, the procedure. But all in all, he has all the qualifications that they end up losing very important position in this Republic of Kenya. And I want to tell you, since this country was built by the Lord Almighty, we have never seen ever before, families that are not well known, and a son or a daughter of that specific family is vying for a political seat. But because of how our vision holder, the deputy president of this republic and the 5th president to be, has given them power that despite where you come from, despite who you know in the government, despite who you know in the village, because sometimes it happens, you can become a leader if you qualify and we have the qualities of the leader that the people around you want.
That his story is very motivating. But then again, my question still remains. You, in your capacity as an MCA, if you do get elected as an MCA for Muranga Township Ward, how will you change the way the people from Muranga Township interact with the government?
One, of course, the very role of an MC is representation, and representation means, it's so simple, because representation means when this specific county assembly is recruiting new staffs, you're there to represent your people. Like in the previous few months, the county government of this county, they recruited around 400 plus staff. But I want to tell you that within my ward, if there is anyone who was elected, I think there are less than 5. But if you take 35 forward, divide by that number, of course we need to have a balance. That this is the right number that is supposed to be shortlisted as to my ward. So I'm there to push their interests and to make sure everything that is coming from the county reaches my people on time, and also as the same value it is coming from the county. And I want to tell you that we have the goal for this township ward, and more so, not just here, but not just from what is coming from the government, but also from corporates. We have good corporates in this country that you can work together to make sure that your people get they get money, light services, and in the light time. I want to tell you that I've been meeting corporates towards the interest of my people, and I've met actually 3 of them who are so ready to work together with us, God willing, when we get this seat, and even maybe before we happen to get elected. And also one of the corporate is it's a China-based company that they procures machines. We call them molders. And when I explain to them the problems that our youth are going through, they are so ready to help us. And what they are doing, the only request that they give is that you just need to have a warehouse. Then they will come, install the machine for you. And when they install the machine for you, one, they will show you where you can get the raw material for the product. They will show you even how to recycle, because it's a plastic molder. It molds everything that is made of plastic. They come specific molder. And when I looked at what exactly can we mold, because I don't want because if we say that we'll be molding cups, of course it will take time for us to go where we are going. But I looked for a company that the most moving materials. One, I looked at the spare parts, plastic spare parts in a motorbike. And I could see 30% of a motorbike is made of plastic, from the dashboard going to the mudguard, going to the side guard, and some other few things. And they told me that that they can help us to get the what you call the permit, or to make sure that they can license us to manufacture all those spare parts of all those motorbikes in this Republic of Kenya. And I want to tell you, if that project can go through as of today, we can manage to employ more than 100 youths at the labor zone. Then again,
so that is basically you will be fighting unemployment amongst the youth.
Yes, amongst the youth, because unemployment is the biggest, is the giant problem of our youth and also our people in general. And if we get to have such a kind of a production center, then we can even decide, because there is no way somebody will come from Nyeri, go to Nairobi, when you have the same product here in Muranga. So we are going to save him or have fuel, and again we are going to make sure how we can subsidize, give good prices to the same product, so that you can make sure that people from Meru, Nyeri, Isiolo and all those people are coming for those products. And we cannot just assume that those people will come here. We send our youth. If someone can, maybe we can have people who have done what we call sales and marketing, then they can train other youth, and we are going to send them, go let the people know that we have our own product that we're producing, and of course it will work for us in a very positive way.
Yes. And Meshima, allow me to just cut you short, because I do feel like I have been holding some conversations with a lot of people, and especially the people from Muranga Township, and they are very, very interested in knowing not just the what you will do, but also the how. And thank you so much for bringing out one of the ways in how you will fight unemployment within Muranga Township. They are saying that they are no longer looking at the parties. Earlier on it was which party are you affiliated to, and that would kind of sort of gain you favors from the people. But now they are looking at the what and the how. So what else is plaguing the people of Muranga County, and how will you solve those problems? One,
specifically with our people, let me tell you, it is in the public domain, but in every home in this country, if it is not a youth who is affected with alcoholism and drug abuse, then it is a parent, a parent. If it's not the woman, it is the daddy. So that is another giant.
Or sometimes even both.
Yeah, sometimes it's even both. So that is another giant, problem that we need to focus on when God give us this seat. And I want to tell you that I've been having a dialogue with my fellow youths. Why are you falling into this alcoholism? And they are so open, because one told me direct to my eyes, if perhaps he happened to go at home, and one, that person does not have a wife. Secondly, he eats at her mother's house. So if he happened to go there sober, the mother will be like, for how long will I cook for you? And it will be a big issue. But if he happens to go drunk, he will just raise the voice towards the gate, and he will find the mother prepare the food so that he can eat very fast and go and sleep. Are you together? So that even the parent can have time to sleep.
How will you solve the issue of unmarried youths that is leading them to alcoholism?
I want to tell you, brother, that if we want our fellow youths, our fellow gentlemen and ladies of this township ward to have their homes where we call a kid, a father and a mother, is one. It cannot even close your mind when you don't have a job. That one you agree. So when we work, after working towards unemployment, or let's we solve unemployment, then we open doors for all these other things. And that is what I was telling you. Despite I give you a sample of a few things. I want to give you another one because, of course, these are the couples that I'm sitting with,
yes,
and
please.
I'm giving them the problem of this township ward. I had another couplet meeting with a company that is producing wine using the fermented ripe banana. And the same ripe banana, before it ripen, they can slash them and they make clips, And my legion, despite maybe if we have banana, maybe 30% of it, but I requested them as a person that I would want you to give me not a full production of your product, but just what we call a correction point, whereby somebody can have banana from Muranga, from Kandara, from Muraradia, and they bring them here. Are you together? One, we have increased the activity of our town. Secondly, our fellow youth will be so discouraged because if a kg of banana is going for 25 bob, and with 1,000 we can get 100 kgs. With 1,000 you can get 100 kgs from the uko watu wa shamba, 100 kgs of those banana. So it means if you get them and bring them at your correction point, you will be having maybe 2,500 at that specific day. So minus the cost of the buying cost and the transportation, you'll have at least 1,000. Are you getting me? So if we bring such kind of activities in this township ward, we are going to motivate our youth. Secondly, our youth will be elected at this not elected but employed at this correction point. Thirdly, our youth will be used either there is someone we have somebody who needs to go for something, for like a banana. I need to carry my banana with a tuk-tuk. The tuk-tuk guy will learn something. I need maybe someone just dropped and banana, and maybe he want to go for a certain office. Our motorbike guy will have to learn something that specific day. So when we join all these functions of that specific correction point, it means we are adding value within our locality and also within the people of our locality. And I want to tell you this: if perhaps God give us this seat and these functions we happen to put them in place. I usually tell people that bringing a town or a city to a 24-hour economy is not a switch kind of life. It is by bringing activities that will draw the people to that what we call late time. Are you getting me? Because if specific like these correction points, like you, because I know maybe you have maybe your 300,000, 1 million, you can decide that I will go for my banana to somewhere we call Karatina. And maybe you might get late there, package nini umeka kwa counter, you're bringing here. So of course, if you happen to reach here 11, you'll be having a few people waiting for you. The people who are going to correct at the correction point. Then the people who are going to offload, they will wait for you. Then these people who are going to offload, of course, after all this, they might feel hungry. So they will need that the nearest cafeteria to be on at that specific time. Are you getting me? So then this person, maybe if he or she does not originate from our area, maybe he might need a place to sleep over because it's already late night. So until we bring these activities along, actually it will work to our advantage, because maybe in the 5 years that I will be here as a MCA, it will be my pride to see a county that darken at 6:30 and the light comes at maybe 6 a.m. in the morning. When I will see the functions of this country, not even starting to 24 hours, that the business are ending at midnight, that will be my biggest pride, because I know the activities that's going on, it is to the advantage of the people of Township Ward.
Yes, I do agree with what you're saying, because there was an article in one of the dailies this past week about how devolution has brought development to some counties that had stagnated, and one of them was Cradle. And Muranga is not so far away from Cradle, but then again, if you look at the differences between the two, Cradle by now seems to be either at par with Muranga or has already overtaken it in terms of development. Sure. And I do like another thing about you, Mheshimiwa. And the one thing that I like about you is that you seem to be the kind of leader that not only has the what they want to implement, but also the how. And I find that is very, very encouraging. And I do wish you all the best in your campaigns and the upcoming nominations for UDA.
Thank you so much.
Now, before I give you the chance to give your final submissions to the camera, without the defamation of character, of course, why you?
I usually tell my fellow youth, as I told you, that I chair the young aspirant, that being a youth is not a career. So we should not confuse the two.
No, I mean, why you? Why not the current person who is in that position, or someone else who, one of your competitors?
Yes, and this is where I'm coming from, because most people are feeling that the youth should be given a chance. But youth is not a career. So until we table what we have, that is where that the people will decide who exactly can deliver to them. One, why me? As I told the all else when off camera, that's a professional massive engineer, and being a civil engineer, of course, there is a lot that we go through for us to reach there. And again, my pride is that where I've been raised, from a very humble background, going to the schools that all my schools, actually all my school apart from the universities, all my schools are used as polling stations. How people that the group of the school that I use as the police station they believed not to be the best. And I grew in a very humble background, and going to school not even with a book, with a dish of meal was a problem. Then again, going to the high school, living alone, making my meal, going to school, coming back, make my meal, go to sleep, wake up, go, that thing taught me a lot. So, and that is what we call the basic, starting to make your decision, your life decision when at a very, good age, and it has given me a lot of understanding, a lot of decision making power. And So I want to tell you that all that I went through, or else I'm a living testimony of what the people of Township Ward goes through. So rather than someone who has grew up in a bread and butter kind of life, so he cannot understand. If you tell him that you don't have a school fees, he cannot understand. If you tell them that you need a medical bill that need to be looked at, they cannot understand. Are we together? So, one, I'm going to represent the real hustler. Actually, within the people that we are learning against, I'm the real hustler in this in this race. I'm the strong real hustler, and I'm moving on. Being a hustler is a threat to many. Because they might feel that they can reward us with money so that we can withdraw. I want to tell it and to be so direct to it that even though you put millions on the table so that I can withdraw, or else my fellow youth can withdraw from those political seats, we are standing strong to make sure that we are going down to the last point, where is the ballot, for the youth, to make sure for us to feel like our interests are being served, through the party and also through the IBC.
Now, Mejimo, you've mentioned something about the way you've grown up.
Oh, yes.
And I don't think things have changed so much in terms of children going to school hungry. In fact, yesterday's newspaper had an article within it that showed that more than the number of households countrywide that have fallen into poverty. That is, by poverty I mean they're struggling to afford the basic needs, that is housing, food and clothing. And also schooling has become one of the basic needs for the kids. So I thought you would say something along the lines of the way you will solve the problem of children who are going to school hungry or not even being able to afford school fees. So with that, kindly give your final submissions, please.
Sure, it's good that you're taking good points of that we are discussing on this table. I want to tell you that we have solutions for all those things. It's only that you cannot display all your cards because of course the opponents, they know that I was coming in this studio, so they are waiting to watch. And but we are meeting people every day, now and then, within the ward. So, and actually from here I'll be going to Kiangage, from Kiangage come back to Mokoyo, whereby we are doing the Meet the People tour, and we are going to talk to them, express what we have, and with that it'll be so good for them to make a decision of the kind of leader that we want to elect. And as I want to tell my fellow people, my fellow youth, that our power is there only when we are united. So as they all know that we are going for nomination on date 14, I want to request them that in their good hearts that they see the leadership. We are only two of us, an elder and a young person. A young person who is visionary, and an elder who have been there for so many years in those political seats but has nothing to show. But this is what I've done. And this youthful guy who is Engineer Muturi Daniel has a vision towards the youth, towards the women and our fathers of this township ward. And that is what I'm telling you, that it will be so great for me if they feel that I'm the right person to lead them, or less to show them the way, because and also to make more leaders. The big function of a leader is to create more leaders, but not to create followers. So I might not have so many followers, but I want to make sure that for the 5 years that they give me that seat at the MCA, we come back on the drawing board on the 4th year and strategize and look, in all aspects, how whatever we wanted, whatever the vision that we have towards our people township ward, have we achieved it? And when you look at that, it will be my pride to have a good number of people that these are the people that we have worked with, and these are the people that we have worked. This is how we have impacted positively towards the communities. And with good times, we happen to still have another chance. We give you more as we approach the nomination and even after, because I believe
Yes.
that the people of township have decided to elect me as the ticket holder for Muranga Township Ward, and it will be my pride to represent them after nominations and also after the general election when they vote me as the next MCA.
All right, now that is Engineer Daniel Muturi. Thank you so much for making time for us today and also for the discussion. But then again, the questions that we had, I feel like there are so many more that will have arisen from the answers that you've given. But have no worries, our dear viewers. We will have him back here again to talk about exactly how is the hustler a threat to a lot of people, and also of course the developments from the BBI.
You are watching DAESAK TV, the Cradle of Goodness.